Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back. BBC, back for another live YouTube streaming Zwift. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. We are here for stage 4 of Tour de Zwift 2024. We have 30 seconds left to go. I'm in the pen. I'm all warmed up. We're talking about everything cycling, as always. So, while I'm riding round Tour de Zwift, we are doing one of the French routes, Roulet-Mapoulet. How's that sound in my Brummie accent? Roulet-Mapoulet. Anyway, ask me any questions you want. We will chat. I'm only riding round somewhere between zone 2 and zone 3. Questions are open. I'm here to share my experiences in Zwift. You know how it goes. Let's go! We're off. So, I've been able to, I'm being pushed off here. I've been able to select an appropriate bike today. I'm on the Canyon Air Road. And I have my Zip rainbow wheels on. Let's go. It's probably going to be about 1,000 or so in this ride. Yeah, it's only 25 kilometers, 145 meters of elevation. I think we should be here for about, what, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, maybe a bit less than that. Towards the end, I'll go into the Zwift menu. We can look at some of the workout plans. Some of the workouts. I've done a few of the workouts in just over 3 years of being on Zwift. Workout plans, individual workouts, but I'm just looking to get some structured training in my cycling. Oh, it's hot now. It was freezing earlier. 20.5 degrees in the Wattage Cottage. Streaming live. Let's go. Nice and easy. It's a warm up. Everyone's flying. Wow. 1,700 people so far. The hill's already killing me. Ooh. It's only 8%. Everyone jostling for position. It's not a race for me. It's a chance to chill with my viewers. Ooh, God, the heat. Right, so if you have a Google Smart Speaker, I'm probably gonna set it off. Okay, Google, turn on Gym Fan. Oh, the hill's got me already. The sweat's dripping from me. Look. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Gonna make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. Oh, I will get my breath eventually. Let me catch my breath. Oh, accidentally pressed the button. I didn't want to press then. Nearly ended the stream. Prematurely. Oh. And dropped 200 places just in that few seconds. How you all doing? It is great to be here. Thursday, January the 18th, 2024. Right, that hill's dealt with. There's 22 meters of the 145 meters of elevation already dealt with. So I guess this makes this a relatively flat route. Oh, oh, I'm feeling it already. So whether you do cycle or you're here just watching, because it interests you or you're thinking about it, the idea is you might learn a little something from what I show here or what I talk about, or you might have a question you're thinking, how do I do ABC? Get a little bit from me. Whew. Get my words out. So hopefully it won't be the entire route me struggling to breathe and cycle. Do a few ride-ons. So by now, I'm sure you've already checked out some of my videos, Zwift related videos. So you've got an idea of what Zwift is. If you don't, check one of the videos in the links above. Give you an overview of my Zwift setup, getting started in Zwift, things like how to draft, using power-ups. I've even got a couple of really old race commentaries, which I should return back to actually, and maybe revise now that I'm a little bit more seasoned in Zwift. Doesn't make me an expert, but it's a shame. I'm just sharing what I do, and maybe that works for you. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? More elevation, 3%. It's not a lot really. You want to check out my wheels? Check out my Super Flash wheels. Somewhere in that puddle of cyclists, there's a black British cyclist with some rainbow wheels. There he is. Can't see me just yet. I'll show you afterwards. Let's do the chase. I think I'm still carrying a bit of fatigue in the legs from the other day. Nothing that a bit of spinning won't get out of me. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so we're 5.5 minutes in. Let's check out those wheels. Ooh. Still climbing. That's a third of the elevation done already. I'm gonna spin. I need that second fan to kick in. Oh. Give me a minute to get up this hill, then we get the chat going. Suffering for you guys, man. I'm the reason why the bike kept falling over. It was too tired. Don't get much better than that, sorry. Right, it's starting to ease up a bit. Oh, I guess this is the importance of getting a decent warm up on the legs before you get started, just in case you start off with a little hill climb. More ride-ons. So how many ride-ons do you think I'll get throughout this current group ride? Feel free to leave a comment with your guess. Also, how many calories do you think I will burn during these 25 or so kilometers of bike ride? I'm estimating probably have this done in about 45-50 minutes. At the moment, I mentioned before, so the first few minutes of a group ride, you'll find you spend that time settling in. Some people have jetted off in the front. What I'm looking to do now is to just find a group that's going at the pace I want to go at. And ideally, I'll stick with those guys throughout the entire ride. I think after we finish this climb, people will kind of know where they are. Right now I'm doing just over 2.5 watts per kilogram. Whew. I'm really feeling it today. Oh, someone help! Send energy down the stream. I'm already standing. Roasting. Excuse me, we don't have smell-o-vision. It's raining. I'm the reigning champion. Raining sweat. Sorry if that's a bit gross. Yes, fan number 2. Oh. Cooled me down. I'm hoping I've got the elevation right, because we're nearly 2/3 through the total elevation. That should mean the rest of the route is flat, so there should be some really fast finishes on this route. Currently I'm not in the best ride position. I think I'm getting some draft, but not a great deal. Want to get into that bunch that's just in front. Let's push the watts up a bit. There we go. Maybe it's these wheels. I think these wheels are a bit heavier. Excuses, excuses. So I am going up a hill, even though it looks flat. It's currently 7% gradient. Whoop. 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 Oh. Expressive dancing while on the bike. $107, $108. Right, we are cresting the top of this hill. Oh, I hope there's a downhill section coming up. The Petite KOM is coming. That sounds like it's a climb. 4%, 2.7. So there's more climbs coming. Unless that was it. Right. Should be an opportunity to super tuck. So as long as I'm going faster than 56, 57 kilometers an hour, and the gradient is higher than -3, I will go into a super tuck. No chance here. -2, -3. -4. Right. Potentially I'm tuckable. Here we go. So I should be super tucking. Just caught the gradient change. I'm tuckable. That's going to be my new slogan. Kenny's tuckable. Tuck the BBC. I know that could sound like something else. I'm still tuckable. About to fall off. You can get caught out super tucking. So you can see I was paying attention to the gradient change, seeing if it was going to change. Don't want to lose this group. We're a nice big group. We'll travel a lot faster. Here's me leading the group. Come on. Jump on. Jump on the back of the BBC. I'm just going to ease up a bit. I don't need to be taking all of that breeze. Here we go. Back into the draft. I think we might end up swarming that group in front. They might also join our little bunch. So I'm pretty much free riding most of these rides this week. I will do a workout on the weekend. I'll be streaming that live also. Probably something like a VO2 max. So if you want to see me suffer, lots of pain faces, funny expressions, high heart rate, and probably me collapse on the pole on the floor, you want to tune into that one. But most times I tend to just ride according to the feel or the group, or I'll pick a group ride that's set at a pace that I want to ride at. So if I wasn't doing this Tour de Zwift group ride now, I'll be doing a Sundowner ride with a group of riders from South Africa. And they ride for about an hour or 90 minutes. There's a set pace, usually around about 2.2 to 3 watts per kilogram, which is kind of perfect. Gives you like a mostly green zone 3 ride with little bits of zone 2. Great for base training. So if I'm not doing a ride that's around about medium effort pace, I will jump onto a workout. And you can select individual workouts. We look at the menu after I finish this group ride. 30 minutes to burn, 60 minutes or more. But what I really enjoy about the Zwift workouts is they also put them into plans. There's one that's race themed, fondo, mountain bike themed, new to cycling, FTP builder, strength builder, and I've tried about 3 or 4 and done most of those multiple times. And I like the way it just keeps you focused. So I've done 6-week training plans, 8 weeks. I've also done a 12-week. Now, my opinions only. Personally, I found the 12-week one a little bit too long. Found that trying to fit everything else in. I'm pretty certain when I did that one, Tour of Watopia was also on at the same time. Then trying to fit one race in a week. I did it, but there was a couple of workouts that I did have to miss. But I twinned that with riding outside. To me, 6 weeks, 8 weeks is about right. So I was doing about 3 to 4 workouts a week. Some of those included the recovery ride, like riding at about zone 2. Not necessarily for a long time, but still a chance to spin the legs, get your heart rate up, spin the legs out without putting any hard work on the muscles, which are still repairing themselves from the previous ride. And the more you do those rides, you will see your FTP start to slowly increase. Absolutely, doing a 6-week, you will see some FTP increases if you stick to the plan, get the majority of the workouts done, have your rest, make sure your diet is on point. Doesn't mean you have to eat rabbit food. You want to be balanced. Have a nice balance. preferably more healthier than unhealthy. And of course, sleep. Sleep is so important. Try and get at least your 8 hours, more if you can. Your body repairs itself, your muscles grow and repair when you sleep. There's more science to it than that. But I think you have these little miniature versions of you running around in your body. And when you're asleep, they wake up and they start repairing you, massaging your muscles. They're like, come on, it's time to grow. I know the bike ride you got planned for the weekend. Yeah. That's Kenny science and biology. So I've raced this route many times, but going in the opposite direction. Ooh. So there's a gate coming up around this corner and this viaduct, aqueduct, water, yeah, aqueduct. There's a gate. Okay, so we can guess which power up I'm going to get. Draft, Feather, Aero, or maybe XP. I'm nearly level 51. Look at the orange bar at the top. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ding. I reckon draft. Feather. There's no hills, but it's giving me a feather. Anyway, I'll make use of it. Probably on the rollers in a bit. We're starting to string out a bit. So I'll talk a little bit more about my training personally. So I do like to ride 4 days minimum, around about 5 days a week on the bike. So that's usually giving me between 100, 150 kilometers of cycling. The distance is mostly irrelevant. It's more about the effort that I'm putting in. Time on the saddle. Some of that is split between doing some zone 2. Sometimes it's also a race. And then 1 or 2 workouts. I kind of see, if I'm not doing a workout and I'm doing a race, I think they kind of match in terms of the intensity or the intervals. I think workouts tend to replicate, at the very least, some of the conditions that you'll have in a race. And then in addition to that, I swim. So I swim again between 4 and 5 days a week. 4 if I'm being a bit lazy, 5 if I'm being on my game. I do a mile, combination of front crawl, also known as freestyle, and breaststroke. Probably 80% crawl, 20% breaststroke. I used to do mostly breaststroke. I've been trying to improve my crawl over the last 6 years. So I've flipped the percentage ratios of each one that I'm doing. And I used to also use the gym quite a lot. I no longer use the gym. I just work out at home. Body weight, resistance, using resistance bands, press ups. I've got a door bar, doing pull-ups and whatnot. And of course I also do some yoga. Now the yoga is good for conditioning, it's good for the mind, it's good for stretching once I've been on the bike. So they're pretty much all the things that I do to complement my overall fitness, training regime, package, plan, but I'm not rigid. I mean, I don't get upset if on one day I have to miss something. I mean, I'm bothered by it, but it's not the end of the world if something comes up. Sometimes work or life has to take priority. So the cycling can sometimes take a bit of a backseat, but if everyone's feeling down, low, or full of energy, jump on the bike. Indoor cycling, always here. There's no way I'll be riding this bike outside. Oh, pretty certain it's -7 outside. At the moment, here in central England, freezing cold, dangerously icy, definitely not road bike conditions. So, at the moment, my FTP since I last tested was 242. EFTP, which is your rolling 42 days, is a little bit lower. I'm probably sitting at about 232, 230. Doesn't mean that my original FTP strength and achievement doesn't count. Just a little bit rusty in the legs at the moment, but with all of this everyday cycling and all the other training that I'm doing, it won't be long until I'm back up to 242 and beyond. So I'm likely to get my next FTP boost when I do my next race, which is going to be sometime next month. Pick maybe a Crit City. So all of this riding now, all the work and the suffering that I'm going to go through over the next few weeks, it's making my body, my legs mostly, and the heart, prepared for the race. And it doesn't matter if I don't podium, although surely you guys want to see a podium. Eat, sleep, bite, repeat in the chat. Welcome. I am good, very good today. How are you? Just been talking about my personal training plan. Mentioned some of the Zwift workouts. Going to look at the menu once we finish this ride. I've only just got settled in. It was a hard start. Only hard because I think I'm just feeling a little bit tired. But it's all good. All good. Do you know what? 2024, this is your year. If you haven't set yourself a goal yet, do it now. Do it. So I just feel, yeah, I feel there's some milestones to be reached, some ceilings to be smashed through, some gains to be had. Oh, I'm not saying I'm going to get it all, but I'm going to get loads. Well, it's good to see you also doing great in the chat. I finally feel settled. We've got a nice bunch. Let's give them some ride-ons. Woo. Yeah. Woo. 27 minutes in. We are past, well, about at the halfway stage. 12.5k left. 13.5 done. There's another hill. Oh. Nothing too much. To say I have raced this route many times, but go in the other direction. So you ride Zwift enough, you start to memorise. You just know what's coming up on these routes. So there's a few rollers coming up. They can sometimes zap your energy when your legs are feeling a bit tired. All I know is that I have put quite a bit of a heavy load in the legs this week. So my ride tomorrow, without a doubt, zone 2, chill zone 2, then a workout on the weekend. Whew. Yoga tonight. Oh, yoga. Yoga! So eat, sleep, bite, repeat in the chat. Have you tried any of the Zwift workout plans yourself? Or do you, I don't know, maybe you've got a coach. I don't think I asked you last time whether you just ride for fun or whether you compete, you train seriously, or a bit of a freestyle training like myself. This one here, yeah, it's in reverse, and it's called Roulette Mapule. So it's in the France World on Zwift. Pretty decent, just over 24 kilometers long. Not a great deal of elevation. We've done most of it. Comes at the end, to reverse at the start. Ride for fun, yeah. That's the best way. If it's not fun, it's done. If it ain't fun, run. So you've not tried any of the French routes, or they tend to be hilly. So on the French routes and Zwift, go to the world selection on the main screen if it's available, and you can pick with different rides. So you've also got the highest single ride elevation in terms of like one mountain, not multiple stuck together, which is Ventop, which is a replica of Mount Ventoux in France. Turn for turn, it's exactly the same as far as I'm aware. About 1,500 meters of elevation. I have done it a couple of times. It's decent for when you want to just clock up elevation, although I do prefer just going up and down Alpe Zwift. It's only 1,000 meters of elevation, but it's one continuous hill with no downhills in the middle, and you can climb it faster proportionately. That 1,500 meters of elevation on Ventoux takes you a lot longer because it's more gradual. I like the fact that there's lots of turns on Alpe Zwift. So 22 corners, you can split the ride up into each corner. Makes it a lot more mentally achievable. Okay, oh okay. So you're probably more seasoned than I am on Ventop, knowing where the turns are. Would you agree though, that because you ride up it, then there's a couple of sections when you're climbing, then it's flat for a bit, which is great, gives you a nice breather, but then you got a bit of a downhill. So it's not like a continuous climb. If you're doing repeats, I don't think I'd want to do an Everesting up it, just because I know I can get off the bike on Alpe Zwift. It'll just roll down to the bottom. And when I come back from my snacks and the toilet break, I'm ready to just U-turn and climb up again. Watch your time doing Ventopping. I almost have got the elevation wrong because we're already on 152 and it's 9.5 kilometers left. Maybe it's 250 meters of elevation. Let's have a look. Okay, maybe the leading added a bit more. Oh, we've lost people. I looked down for a second and everyone's gone. So the Alpe is way... Can't see under the heart. Is that scary? Alpe is way scarier than Ventop. Can't remember your time on it. We've done it 11 times, so I'd think that your 11th time is faster than your first time. You know what? You should try the Alpe. It's not as bad as it looks. And the best thing about going up the Alpe is the first time you do it, you'll get a free bike. but you also get to spin the bonus wheel when you get to the top. And that is the only way you can win the Millenstein wheels. Got a bonus. Little incentive to keep you climbing it. But if you ever wanted to climb it, I'd be happy to join you on a group ride up the Alp. You can set it so that it doesn't matter how much effort you pedal, we'll all stay together in a group. It's called the rubber band effect. So you could be doing 10 watts, or I could be doing 200. It will stick you with me. So obviously I'm going to go forward, and it kind of slingshots you forward, so you always stay with us. Great for group rides when you're setting up group rides in clubs. So Zwift have this feature called Clubs. They introduced it probably about a year and a half ago. It gives you an opportunity to join a group of friends or people who share the same interests, and you can arrange group rides, set the times, set the conditions, and ride. So we ride, all of us who ride on Twitch, we ride and meet up end of the month. So we set a group ride. We also like to set our own segment of the month, and we pick one of the KOM sections or one of the routes on Zwift. We specify which bike to do it on, which is usually like a standard bike. So it might be the standard TT bike, any rules you want, just to give it a little bit of consistency against all of us. And then we set our times based on our race group categories. So I'm in group C. If I set a time on the segment of the month, my time would go into our group C list. And the only thing you win is kudos and blagging rights. But it's just fun, just a little thing to keep you motivated. So I have a couple of groups that I belong to, including one with my employer. So I'll be setting up some group rides with them too, which should be open to anyone. If you don't work with me, I'll try and set it up so if you wanted to join the group ride, you can join. New and inexperienced, old and over seasoned, we don't mind. I think that's probably it for the elevation. You do seem pretty chilled. Should we do some different view? Coming at you, leaving you behind. Oh, the gradient's changed. Actually, I think something's happened to my turbo trainer. Connection's dropped or something. Where'd they gone? Oh, I just left them. Is that what it is? We're still here. So we're just over 6 kilometers left. I was probably a little bit over generous with the time. We might be finished in about 44 minutes. Place your bets in the chat. Don't use money, just use emojis. Smiley faces and thumbs up. I'm not drafting. Let's go up to these guys. Get some draft. There we go. So now that I've caught this group up, I can ease off the effort on my pedals, fall into line, I'm drafting, baby, I'm drafting. I'm going to fire off my draft as well. And by firing off the draft boost, I've also increased the draft benefit that I'm getting by 10% for the duration that this power up lasts for. Spectators, hi spectators. So we've got a sprint coming up, Marina Sprint. Chance to go for the KOM or the QOM, King of the Mountain, Queen of the Mountain. Challenge yourself on the sprint sections. See how fast you can get. Diet sodas, all I drink is diet sodas. I do drink quite a lot of own brand Pepsi Max or own brand Diet Coke. Literally 2 to 3 calories per glass. If I was drinking the sugar versions, and you're talking about 160 to 170 calories per glass. There is no point in drinking calories. So maybe that's a perfect time for me to talk about calories and how that affects your diet and training. Obviously, I have no medical background. Anything that I'm talking about is what I do and my opinion, but I get my information from various sources. I do work in a university. I'm surrounded by academics. I tap up sports science colleagues, physiotherapy, tutors. It just tests my understanding and my theories, and I use that to balance. So your diet is the food you eat. Doesn't mean you're on a diet. And essentially the rule is calories in, calories out. You want to maintain and stay where you are, then you want to make sure that the amount of calories you consume are equal or thereabout to the calories you burn. So if today I'm burning 2,500 calories, I want my total calorie intake to be around about 2,500 calories. Can be slightly less, slightly over. It will all balance out. Now, if I'm looking to either shed body fat, or I want to get cut or shredded, then I want to be in a calorie deficit. So I want the calories that I consume to be lower than the calories that I burn. So on that 2,500 calorie example, I probably want to be ideally about 20%. You can do more, but why make it really hard for yourself? Go for the slow option. So I personally would be about 20%, 25% max, which would be about 2,000 calories. I want to have about a 500 calorie deficit. And as long as you are maintaining, I'd say 200 calorie minimum to be able to see some real gains. But you know, 10 calories every day adds up to 70 calories in a week, adds up to 280 in a month. It all comes off slowly. Anyway, that's the long version. So calories in, calories out. Obviously, if you're looking to gain weight, then you want to make sure that the calories you consume are higher than the calories you burn. And that's the easy part. I think we all do that without even trying. So, in your journey or in your day-to-day work of maintaining that calorie deficit, let's say we're on 2,000 calories. I personally have 2 meals a day. Breakfast, usually about lunchtime, then an evening meal. And I try to limit the amount of snacking I do in between. Or if I am snacking, I'm just trying to avoid high calorie dense foods. So absolutely, I'm not eating crisps, you know, chips, That's just calories and carbs, carbs and fat, just calories, no nutritional value at all. All right for the occasional treat, but if you're trying to maintain calories, if you can stop one thing or drastically reduce it, stop eating potato crisps. So, by splitting my meals up into two, I know that if I take out my drinks like coffees and teas, I know that I've got roughly 1800 calories between those two meals. So 900 and 900, or I'm talking 700 calorie breakfast. That's my porridge oats, some golden syrup, some almonds, raisins, pumpkin seeds. Evening meal's going to be between 800 and 1000, and I've still got a few calories to play about with in terms of snacks, or if I just decide I want a chocolate bar. So if you're drinking calories, you're drinking sugar sodas, a can, 330ml can, can have as much as 180 calories, 200 calories. 5 of those, 1000. There's your evening meal, just by quenching your thirst. Or drink water, 0 calories, or drink diet or sugar-free drinks, literally 5 calories per can. It makes sense. Was that, I can't see the last word, is that cheat meal? Do I, so in the chat, second question, from Eat, Sleep, Write, Repeat, do I ever have, I think it's cheat meals. So, I do have cheat meals, but I wouldn't say I have cheat meals. I say I have treat meals. So if I want to treat myself, I have it. Not because I'm just being bad or I'm trashing whatever plan I'm on, because I know that I've earned it. So I might decide I want to go out with my friends on the weekend. I want to go to a steakhouse and I want to have a ribeye steak. I want to have surf and turf extra. No, triple cooked chips, a steak, so, you know, the lot. I know that I'm getting all the protein, those vitamins and minerals from that meat. That's going to help me grow. I also know that I've earned it because I've been on the bike before. But at the moment, this ride, 47 minutes in, I've already burnt 570 calories. That steak meal that I mentioned, it's probably going to be pushing somewhere close to 1100, 1200 calories. So an hour on the bike, relatively decent ride. I know I'm going to be burning between 650 and 700 calories. And if I'm doing an even harder workout, I'll burn even more, or ride for 20 minutes more. There's another 200 to 300 calories burnt. I've pretty much cancelled out that cheat meal, treat meal. So I treat myself. Earn it, burn it. That's my strategy. And I think you need treats. You need to have a treat meal, whether that's a 2-finger Kit Kat, whether that's a normal size Snickers, whether that's whatever your treat is, I don't know, a donut. You need some sugar because it releases that happy chemical, endorphins. And if your diet is just bland food, you know, watercress soup, rabbit food, you know, bland rice cakes, no one enjoys that. I don't care what you're saying. There's no way that I'm going to finish this bike ride or that workout I'm going to do on the weekend. I'm going to burn over 1000 calories. I'm sweating like mad. My heart rate's above 170. All the time I'm on the bike, I'm not sat here thinking, oh, do you know what I really want? Oh, I want to get off. Oh, yeah. Oh, 2 sticks of celery. Oh, and some fat-free, salt-free, flavourless hummus. Oh, no. No one's thinking that. not seriously, that doesn't excite me. But if I'm thinking about, oh, I'm gonna have that lemon drizzle cake that I baked earlier with some homemade custard, oh, or yeah, we're popping to Wetherspoons and getting a burger deal. Use it to motivate you, that's what I do. But yeah, come on. Look, I'm gonna have a dessert and an extra scoop of ice cream. In seriousness, I don't take it as drastic as that. I just know that take each day at a time. All of your days stack up to make a week. 4 of those weeks stack up to make a month. And 12 of those months stack up to make a year. So think of your total calorific intake and expenditure for that entire year. So it doesn't matter if you fall off one day, you know, you've finished work, your colleagues are like, fancy going for a curry, or let's go and grab a few beers, or you've gone for a movie, you've ordered popcorn, nachos, a hot dog, an extra large soda. You're like, oh, well, you know, I've fallen off now, that's it. Diet, no, it's not ruined. It's just one day. And there's nothing to stop you from jumping on a bike, you know, maybe the next day, walk to the shop, walk to school, take the stairs, if it's 2 or 3 flights or less. All of those little bits of activity add to your total calorie burn. There you go. And finally, be realistic. Be realistic with your goals, what you can achieve, and how long it's going to take you to get there. If you, for example, I'm picking random figures. If you're 90 kilograms and you're saying, I want to get down to 75 kilograms and I want to do that in 4 weeks because I've got a wedding coming up, you're not being realistic. I'm sorry, but I'm telling it to you straight. The Greg effect. Basically, if it didn't take you 4 weeks to put on those 25 kilograms, how can you expect to lose it in 4 weeks? So you're not being realistic. You're setting yourself up to fail. And if you attempt to lose that amount in just a short time, you're going to burn yourself out. You'll probably do yourself an injury. Your energy levels are going to be down there, like off the screen. The video below this one, that's where your energy levels are. And you'll probably quit and you'll think this is too hard. Set yourself a realistic goal. Anything you want to achieve, think about it in 12-month terms, 1 year. That way you can split it into 12 sections and you can check yourself every 3 months. So every quarter you can check your progress. And don't worry about going slightly up and down and up and down during that process. We're not machines. Some days you'll burn more. Thanks, like I'm breakdancing. Some days you'll burn more, some days you'll burn less. The bigger picture, all of those days, 365 of them, total a year, you'll see your results. There you go. Right, back to the chat. That was a bit of a rant, wasn't it? So I'll try to follow the 80-20 rule. 80% eat clean, 20% whatever you want. And that's good as well. So whatever works for you. The only thing I will say on that, just a tip, a little bit of advice. 80-20 is good, but you still need to factor in your total calories. So eating 20% of whatever you want, but if that 20% is 2,000 calories and it's all crap, no, there's no vitamins, you know, the essential stuff that's going to keep your body healthy, it's going to help your body repair, going to help your muscles grow, you know, protein as well. It doesn't include that, and it's just excess calories, then you're kind of undoing the goodness you've done in that 80%. So what I say, build whatever you want to do into your total calories for that day. And if that means you save it all up for the end of the week, I don't know, maybe you allow yourself 1,000 calories of eat what you want. No, bad foods. I don't believe they were bad foods, it's just bad combinations of foods, like bad diets. But if you want to group that, say, you know what? If I'm eating, let's say, 2,000 calories per day, that's 14,000 calories a week. You could probably say, you know what? I'm going to take 20% of those calories as being good foods that I really like, enjoy. Use that to motivate you. Have you done all your workouts? And if you have, then you deserve your 20%. Yeah? What's that? 3,500 calories? Like a day. A day and a half worth of eating. Yep, calories in, calories out. So that's for me, scientifically, factually, is the only way having a cheat day, I call it a treat day, will really work for you, being able to eat anything you want, as long as it's within your allowed calories. Or go over 1 week and just take that difference off the following week. If you want your diet to be honed in and you really want to be able to achieve what you want within a realistic, properly calculated, quantifiable time frame, then try to stick as close as you can to those calories. If you're slightly under, that's fine. If you're slightly over, that's equally fine as well. Bigger picture, all the numbers add up, and don't cheat by not counting things like sauces, condiments, sweets and candy, that little glass of wine you had. They're all calories, unless you're eating like ice cubes or you're just drinking water. Everything has a calorific content. So we're done. Whew. Okay, 56 minutes, a little bit longer than I thought. 26.5 kilometers, 670 calories burnt. I've earned a treat. Right, so I'm going to roll up to 27 because we don't end on an odd number. We like to round up, get that extra 20% XP, then we take a quick look in the menu, have a look at one of those workout plans. There we are, 27. I feel like still spinning though. Fun stream as always. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. You know what? It's fun chatting to everyone who joins in. Even if I know you're there, I can see the current viewers. So silence is fine. Taking in. Or of course, you're probably watching back on the playback. Press this power up off. Let's do a bit of a seated sprint. Don't know why I did that. Just felt like doing it. Maybe get me to 20, 28. I'm super tucking. Whew. Right. Try and breathe now. See, I'm kind of like tempted to take it to 30. To be fair, I've got to at least do the full hour. What do you reckon? It's better to do extra when it is to cut yourself short. No, I want to stop. So close to 29. Oh, but then you're so close to 30. Pretty certain there's a hill coming up anyway. No more hills. Go to 30. No, I want to stop at 29. Go to 30. Do you know what? You command it, so let's go. Let's go to 30. See, when you stream and you cycle, the encouragement makes you want to do a little bit more. If you come to a hill though, I'm probably going to stop. Burn myself out with the little seated 800 watt sprint. Ride on Timmy Tim. Ride on P Clark. It's amazing how you always feel so much better after the ride than when you first started. Feels like I've got more energy than when I first started. 710 calories. There it is. Thank you for that extra kilometre. I'm pretty certain that burnt me at least an extra 10, 15 calories, maybe even 20. Right, so we saved this ride. Yes, I'm level 51. I've leveled up, so I'm on a new level. Thank you for the encouragement. Okay, so we'll take a quick look. A couple of things I mentioned. So I mentioned how to select different worlds when you're in the Zwift menu. So you can see you got these top menus here. This one shows you the sort of like event calendar, different rides that are starting in the next 60 minutes. You can filter them by different groups. So you can filter them like races, fondos, club rides, group rides, etc. The group category that the ride is in. So if you know that you're not powerfully strong, then you don't want to pick an A group. But if you want the lowest group, the D covers everyone. There's usually some exceptions. So races will sometimes restrict which rides you can join or not. You can race in the category above your specified category. You just can't race lower down. So on Group C, I would not be able to join a race that was Group D, but I could join a race that was Group B or Group A. Oh, right. And then this top one here is the world, and this is where you can choose which different world you want to ride in. So Watopia is always available. That's the main Zwift world. You've got all the different routes here. Gives you the distance, the total elevation, and it gives you like an effort kind of like rating. So I'll give you a bit of a tip when it comes to working out which ride you want to do, whether or not you think it's a good ride and how long you think it's going to take you. These durations are an okay estimate, but they're not necessarily accurate based on what you're doing. So let's have a look. as an example. So let's look at this one here, jungle circuit. Let's call it 14 kilometers. It's 100 meters of elevation. So you know that within that 13 or 14 kilometers, there's going to be 100 meters worth of hills or elevated roads that you need to come up. But then you see this one here, it's more or less the same distance. You know, it's literally 1 kilometer shorter, but it's only 49 meters of elevation. So doing this one, you'll get through this one a lot faster than this one based on the elevation. You travel slower up a hill. And I'll go down to one of the bigger ones. So this one here, look, Tour of Fire and Ice. It's only 25.5 kilometers. So, you know, 11 kilometers more further than the one we was just on. But there's, you know, 1166 meters of elevation. So there's a really high mountain. In fact, it actually takes on Alpe d'Huez, which is just over 1,000 meters, what, 1,052 meters of elevation. So that one will take you a lot longer to go through, and it's going to be harder effort. Some of those gradients are 18, 19%. So that's how you pick the world, and here's the French routes. So eat, sleep, bike, repeat. If you wanted to do the route that we've just done, RGV is that route, the normal way round. There it is, 24.9 kilometers, 133 meters of elevation. And then Poulet is the same one, just in reverse. And of course there's Ventop, which is a replica of Ventoux. So look, it's only 20 kilometers of elevation, but look, there's 1,535 meters of elevation. There's the elevation grade here. You can see it's pretty consistent climb over the average. Yeah. So and they've got it as a 4.5 out of 5. So not necessarily the most difficult, but I don't know, I'll probably give it a 5 out of 5. Yeah, definitely would. Okay. And then you've got this one here, which is the workout plans. So you've got all the different workouts here. You've got the ones that are specific for Drift Academy. So these are the ones that are in Drift Academy 2023. That was a nice one. It looks harder than what it is, but I really enjoyed that one. So you click into it, it gives you a bit of an overview about what it's like, what the workout covers. So you're looking to target your VO2 max. That's your body's ability to burn oxygen and convert that into energy, or something similar to that. You can see what the intervals will be on there. But yeah, so you've got different groups workouts. If you've only got 30 minutes to burn, these ones are all 30 minutes long. And as a guide, grey, warm up, recovery, warm up, blue, zone 2, green, zone 3, yellow, zone 4, red, zone 5. So if you've got a workout that's got a lot of blue, then you know that it's relatively easy. Zone 2, if it's got like a lot of red, or it's got lots of peaks, and you know that it's a more difficult workout, even without having to look to see what the score is. And you've got FTP Builder. Now I've done this FTP Builder. Some really good workouts in here. A balance between zone 2 and recovery workouts, and some really sort of like high intensity ones. So you can see here, look, some nice little peaks. But it starts off gradual, and as you go through the different weeks, you'll see the workouts do get a little bit more varied. But it's nothing too taxing, and you can see from here, I guess that's the importance of zone 2 and zone 3 workouts. So you have solid blocks working like just below your FTP, so you're going to build up your endurance. I'll spend more time talking about these workouts. I'm no expert, I've just tried a few, did it as a novice. So if you've never done a workout before, I probably would recommend doing either Back to Fitness or one of the FTP builders. Female Pacific Baby on Board workouts, designed by Kristen Armstrong and Danny Rowe. So yeah, there's something for everyone. It's not just aimed at men. You want to just target VO2, threshold, sweet spot. FTP tests, there's workouts just for sprinting. Yeah, sprinting will have lots of these little short bursts and peaks. Yeah, maybe I'll do a sprinting or a climbing workout on the weekend. I've not tried these ones, but yeah, I'm looking to climb more hills. I think the more you climb, the faster and stronger you'll get. So yeah, this is a bit of an introduction to the different workouts. Hill sprints, hill attacks, yeah, all different types. So there we go, they're the workouts. That's all from me. I think it's time for me to go. Computer, end workout. So I have my fans and all my setup on smart plugs and home automations, so I can just do one command. It stops that big fan, keeps that one going for a bit because I usually want to cool down still, and then ultimately that fan will kick off, the lights will turn off, etc. There you go. So let's end with, and if you are about on the weekend and you want to see me suffer on one of these workouts, don't know which one, but I'm gonna do, you know what, I'm gonna pick a really hard one. Look at that. Norseman workout. Look, starts blue, goes green, then yellow, then orange, and it just gets harder and harder. That one looks mega. What do you reckon? If there's one you want to recommend me to do, feel free to leave me a comment. Eat, sleep, bite, repeat is saying that you hate those short bursts. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm done. Thank you. Let's end with, and let's end the stream. As always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being you. See you again.